it's Carlos, the Ultimate Fitness Training once again, and thank you so much for watching the video. And I'm here with
Back Aesthetics.
Yes.
And we got Dale Spears.
Top man. And these guys, to be fair, they work very hard in the gym and then try to become their greatest version. So obviously, we're doing a bit of a video here about question and answers. Really, I'm not here to tell you how much I know and what these guys don't know. It's about actually helping each other to become our greatest version. So I think these guys got a couple of questions for me, and as you guys know, I love to do these videos. And basically, from cold, I don't know what they're going to ask me.
Yeah.
Obviously, it'll be something to do with training, but hopefully they'll ask me some questions I'll be able to answer. And I've got a couple of questions for them as well. So, over to you guys.
Well, thanks for letting us speak. It's good to get a video with you, Carlos, definitely. So what me and Scott's opinion on burning body fat is basically eating the right diet, low carbs, high fat, a little bit of a keto diet.
Yeah.
We're doing a bit of core to try and bring our abs out and bring our fat down. What do you recommend, let's say a 12-week program to get at least our body fat as low as possible? What do you recommend? Lean as possible.
I mean, great question. Obviously, and this question is probably one of the basic questions most people ask when they come to the gym, because they want to be lean and they want to look ripped. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as you guys can see, these two guys here, they train together, but they're very different body types. So obviously, this one here, okay, for instance.
Let's give him a show him off.
Go on, son.
Let's show him
He's
off.
very lean anyway. He's a very much of ectomesomorph, whereas you've got here Dale, which is a probably bigger guy. You know what I mean? He's got a mesoendomorph.
4'6" though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
two different body compositions. So if I was to give you some sort of like advice, would be very different. However, just to really answer the question is, in order to obviously burn body fat effectively, obviously you need to be on the right macros. What I mean by that is obviously having the right amount of calories for your body expenditure. So that means obviously what you do at work. Let's say for instance, if someone was at a very active job, comparing to someone that sits basically down for long periods of time, they're completely different macros, okay?
Yeah.
Although you might work together, train together, it'll be a completely different thing. So you've got to be very aware how much energy you're spending while training, while working out, as well as working as well. So that'll be the answer for that. In terms of exercise, obviously you need to do a lot of fasted cardio in order to burn excess body fat. Obviously that's a tick in the
Any
box.
set time on that, Carlos?
I would advise, this is a big thing, obviously, loads of bodybuilders claim to just do fasted cardio is the best, okay? Or do after training is the best. Really, there is not a specific way in order to do cardio. When you do cardio, when I mean cardio, I mean fat burning, you burn body fat regardless. However, when you do fasted cardio, you burn a greater percentage of body fat. However, on the same breath, you burn muscle as well. So I'd be lying to you, and scientists will probably tell you this as well. Now, if you actually say to someone that you only burn body fat when you're doing fasted cardio, they're talking out of their fucking ass, because they can't tell. How can you tell that? You know, you can say, "I look in the mirror and I look leaner," but how can you tell you're burning more fat than muscle? You don't really know.
Yeah.
But scientists do say, and research do show, that if you do fasted cardio, you burn a greater percentage of body fat, and that's the truth, really. Okay. But how much, you can't tell.
Do you recommend, obviously, the core work and abs that we've been doing,
Yeah.
do you recommend, are we going to see quicker benefits doing that on our core as well? Or is it majority diet? I mean, because we're doing abs every night now, you know.
Yeah.
8 minutes
Right.
every night.
Put it this way, obviously,
Yeah.
imagine like layers. Okay, now you can do endless amount of abdominal work, core work. Abdominal work and core work are two different things. However, a lot of people think it's exactly the same thing. It's a completely different thing. You've got 4 walls on your muscle wall. Obviously, you've got your rectus abdominis, which is your main layer, if you like, 6-pack.
Okay.
And then you've got obviously your TVA and your multifidus muscle. Those two muscles are responsible to actually structure your spine. However, a lot of people think it's exactly the fucking same thing, but it's not. It's a completely different thing. And you've got your rectus spinalis, which is actually structures your spine. Now, depending on what you want to do, like say, if you do a lot of abdominal work, okay, you get your abdominal wall very, very thick, which is good. However, it's going to bloat your belly, so be careful to the amount of abs you do.
Okay. Yeah.
However, if you're lean enough, you need to do abs in order to bring your abs out. Of course you do, but if you've got that layer of water retention in body fat, doesn't matter how many abs you do, you ain't going to have your abs.
Yeah.
That's just
That's
the way
more,
it is.
It's more the diet, the fasted cardio.
Well, it's not. I couldn't say them all. I say there's 4 components I talk about all the time, which is training, diet, supplementation, and aerobic exercise. Some people say, oh, it's all about the diet, or it's all about the training. It's not about anything. It's about those 4 components. I keep telling you about in the car. You've got 4 wheels. Which one is the most important one?
Yeah, they're all important.
There you go. And that's really the answer for it. Don't take me wrong, obviously, there is sometimes you can say, well, could you do without training? Obviously, if you didn't train it, you wouldn't get anywhere, would you?
Touching on that supplement, touching on the wheel supplement then, what would you recommend? Obviously, we want to get as lean as we can in the next, you know, sort of 12 to 6 weeks. What would you recommend is the best supplement for it?
Well, one supplement or the supplements?
The supplementation is as a whole wheel, as a whole.
Vitamin C. I'm just going to give you some. Okay, I'm just going to throw some out there. So obviously, right, okay. Vitamin C, you need to take that 1,000 milligrams. If you don't take that, then you're pissing against the wind. Vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams minimum. Okay. Now, if you compete, you need a lot more. Okay. Yeah. Now, I'm just giving you a random sort of like advice very quickly without even looking at you. Okay. Vitamin B6, B12, you need to do that. Lecithin, you need to do that. Inositol. Okay. If you don't take those things, you will not get lean. You can get leaner, but not lean.
Naturally.
From a lot of foods, but if you want to get those things from foods, you're talking about
a lot of food.
A lot of food. I mean a lot of food, a lot of ingredients. Like how many people take spirulina? Have you heard about it? Spirulina, they haven't heard about it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So this is why when I'm talking about a lot of supplements, you've got to be careful because there's a lot of stuff that we don't take. Now, vitamin B6, B12, complex, lecithin, inositol. Do you like L-carnitine? L-carnitine is fantastic, and obviously you need a fat burner. I'm not here to tell you which fat burner to take, but you do need a fat burner. Okay. You do need a fat burner. When I'm competing, I always take a fat burner. However, I don't take no drugs. I'm not here against people that take drugs, up to do, but I wouldn't personally take any drugs. But those are the kind of components that you need to take. There's a lot more stuff that could go on and on and on about it.
And just one quick question from me. What's the glass bottles for? I know it's to do with alkalinity, but what?
Yeah, glass bottles. Now, I don't know if you guys know about BPA. That's gone.
Oh shit!
That was going well, isn't it?
This
is glass bottle alkaline water. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, basically alkaline water is 0 to 10 pH levels. Obviously, 7 being balanced pH level. Anything below 7 is acidic. So acidity is really bad for the body. It causes a lot of illnesses. In fact, one of the worst ones is cancer. Really? If you guys want to do your own research, you can do about that.
And what does glass stop that? Is because it's...
Well, the glass itself doesn't make you alkaline. What it does is it doesn't happen what happens in plastic, which is BPA, which is very toxic for the body. So if you say, for instance, a bottle of water now, plastic, and keep refilling it, the actual BPA gets then transferred into the liquid, so it makes the actual water acidic, which is not great for you at all. So I definitely advise you guys to use glass if you can. But obviously, it's up to you guys.
But you can buy BPA-free plastics. I've seen.
You can.
I've seen that,
you can do that. However, glass is a lot more safer.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know you had a few questions, Scott.
Just a question for someone. Let's say they were trying to strip fat down right before a holiday, so they've got 2 or 3 weeks to do it. There's a lot of speculation about carb cutting of an evening.
Yeah, sure.
And also, there's another side of the argument as to you need your carbs to burn your fat as well.
Totally, yeah.
So what's your opinion?
I would say the biggest thing about this carb loading, and this is something that a lot of people get confused. First and foremost is basically what are the results? Are the results to get more toned? Are the results to keep the muscle? Are the results to basically lose a lot more body fat? Now, one size doesn't fit all. What it is basically, you've got to get your macros sorted. What I mean by that is basically get the right amount of calories for the day. And I explained this to you guys before about, let's say, for instance, if I was to recommend you, say, 2,000 calories for you and you had a very active job, so they'll have the same body composition, and I said, okay, you have 2,000 calories, I bet you guys would burn body fat differently. Okay, so now depending on how many calories you need to burn on a day, then you recommend a particular diet. Now, to answer that question correctly in terms of an evening, whether you are a ectomorph or mesomorph or endomorph, towards the evening, if you want to cut down on body fat, it's not advisable to have a lot of calories, regardless whether it's carbs or not. But carbs, obviously, you only need carbs for movement. Now, for energy. Now, if you start getting a lot of carb loading in the evening, and you're going to say go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock, it's not really the thing to do. I wouldn't advise that. So I would have the biggest amount of carbs throughout the morning, afternoon, come the evening, because obviously we are two-dimensional beings, so we actually, the universe is giving the power for us to be awake in the day, not in the night time, because in the night time we don't release melatonin, which is obviously helps in the awakening and sleeping cycles. So if you work at night time, your metabolism is really low, because in the dark our frequency is a lot more lower. So you don't burn as much calories, if that makes sense. But that's another video anyway. Yeah. So I don't want to deviate from this question.
Just touching on that macro piece then. obviously you need a gram per pound of body weight, so it's building muscle for protein.
That's very general as well, yeah. But yeah, if you want to go with that one, I'm happy to discuss that one. But that's very general as well. There's another one that people talk about, but really.
So in terms of carbs and fat, would you call it like a, I don't know, 40-40-20?
It all depends on your goal, don't it? I think what he's trying to say, I think everybody's obviously different. Everybody's body reacts differently and everybody's body changes differently. So I believe it all depends on what your goal is. And that's what I believe his answer's going to be.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what Dale just said there. It's very true, because a lot of people, what they do is they go on Google or they probably read a magazine. In magazine says 40-40-20, but why is it 40-40-20? Why is that? Why would you do it?
It's not one size fits all.
No, of course not. That's why it's so general. I mean, a lot of these magazines and a lot of these bodybuilders, obviously, don't take me wrong, I'll probably do it myself. If you ask me a question, I'll probably try to answer as general as I can, but really, does it fit the...
I think I've got a good question for you.
For the guy that really wants the result, that maybe is an ectomorph, that never been in the gym, he'll probably think, all right, 40-40-20, but it doesn't work for him. Yeah. And he'll say, oh, wow, that guy's advised me to do that, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
So it depends on the person itself, really.
Each individual.
Yeah.
I think I've got a good question. Obviously, your body's unreal, your lifestyle's great, and a lot of people watch your videos, but I think a big question people are asking is, you're on holiday, when do you turn off? Do you switch off, or is it a lifestyle? What is it? Yeah, for me, it's a great question. I mean, for me, obviously, for the guys that know me, obviously, I've always been a sports person. Anyway, I used to play football professionally, then I stopped because of injury, but I've always carried on playing and training as if I was a top athlete. But obviously, I'm not a top athlete, as you guys know, but I train every single day. Yeah. Now, do I switch off on holiday? No, I don't. What I do, I change my routine. Yeah. So let's say I just gone on holiday for 5 days, for instance, as an example, and I still done fat burner. I still done my work. It's like me asking. It's almost like the answer. Does your heart stop when you go to bed? It doesn't just carry on. That's a really good answer.
It doesn't stop. You got to stay alive.
When does he sit down with 10 chocolate bars and munch his face off?
No.
And drink 10 points and think, you know what? Because. For a lot of people, I think fitness, and you'll probably find this, it's a short-term goal, not a lifestyle.
Totally, yeah, I agree with that.
Obviously, for you, it's a lifestyle, and you can tell from the way you look. Obviously, you understand that. But do you ever switch it off?
I think I've answered that to one of my clients before.
I think that's a fair question. Yeah.
Totally. The answer is no. It doesn't. I don't switch off. What I do, I do something completely different. Say, I went to Ibiza the other day. We went to the gym. I mean, the training what we were doing is very simple. Good, I saw it. Very simple. Very simple. We were just doing some stuff. And to be fair, a lot of the times you just like maintaining it rather than trying to build anything. Based lifestyle, definitely. Yeah. Without a show that we don't. I don't. I mean, if you said to me, don't train for a week or just do some silly stuff or just go in there for 10 pints, I couldn't do it.
So there's no enjoyment in that field, no attainment, or no what do you call it? Like a need, like a bit of a hunger to be able to just blow out.
No, that's right. That's good, because obviously if I've never, I haven't really.
Okay, yeah. So
it might be weird.
Weirdo. I know you personally, like. You know, I want to, at the end of the week, I want to go and have a massive Chinese, I want to have 10 chocolate bars, 10 mini rolls, a dairy milk bar, but I can't. Obviously, that's willpower. So for you, it's not necessarily willpower, it's the way you live. And I think the best analogy you use is obviously your heart keeps beating when you sleep, and I think that's a really good answer to the question.
That's cool. Yeah, mate? Any other questions? Any other things that we want to talk about?
I'll walk you that.
That's cool. There's a lot of things that obviously these guys, it's great to have a bit of a chat with these guys, because obviously these guys come to the gym, they work very hard, like we all do. But sometimes, having these little debates sometimes actually opens up the opportunity for us to increase our knowledge as well. And I don't want to come across, obviously, some guys may think that I know it all. I don't know it all. I know a lot. Obviously, I've read over 1,500 books in area of physical development, nutrition, and whatever else, but I'm still learning, believe it or not, because nutrition and sort of training changes, but the way people train in the gym, like say today, obviously, it's very different what they used to train 20 years ago. I know all the basics still there, but people, nutrition changes, supplement changes.
The view for it, there's always...
And the views changes as well.
There's a grey area.
Totally.
It's the same with,
totally.
People say, lat pull down behind the head. 70% of the population will go, that's fine. But 30% of the population in the textbook will tell you it's bad for you.
It's really bad for you.
I think there's always going to be... there we go. So there's always going to be a grey area of what people believe is natural movements and what's going to work. And like you said, everyone's different, so our body's always going to react differently to our... someone else's? I
think the biggest thing for all of us is to obviously learn with each other and become our greatest version. And that what I said when I go on about becoming your greatest version. It's not just about from a physical point of view, it's from a well-being as well. Because obviously, if you look good,
you feel good.
There you go. And that sounds cheesy.
If you look fat, you feel like shit.
Yeah, if you eat shit, you feel like shit and you look like shit.
If you're happy in your body and the way you are, fair play to you. But if you want to look better and look great, Carlos is your man,
The
isn't
more
Top
you
man.
do, the more you want to
Cue cards,
do.
I've got the cue cards here. They had to say that. Anyway, with all that said, guys, thank you very much. Don't go away, hold on a minute.
Okay,
You're going to close it
we've got to
correctly.
try, man, we've got to try.
You see, these guys, they're eager beavers, aren't they? See, watch out, girls. But anyway, with all that said, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay fit, take care.
Cheers.